Reaper is a double-sided coin, also like the sword swung by a samurai, razor on both sides, blunt at its core. Using hocus pocus to distort reflection of facts. I don't know the word, and I'll put it in here. That's why I did that, because I needed to repeat that. Using hocus pocus to distort reflection of facts. Of the concocted history. Clever the Reaper is, somehow, always a few hundred years ahead, was put the Melanin King in check. Comprehension exceeding the dual playing 3 card Molly in the park. Ghost Queen in front of King. Inside, perplexed and entangled, simultaneously mustering an act of fear. Need not others' peace. I notice short, a king ducks away from the pressure. His movement, made with haste, unbeknownst to him, exposed Black Queen, who always seems to be standing behind him. This square off led a foundation to joust, fueling insecurity of self, bamboozled to lie focused on one distortion at a time. A non-Melanin standard of beauty birthed. This was exacerbated by witnessing the elongated. Damn, I outdid myself. How the fuck? This was exacerbated by witnessing the elongated, salivating gaze King bestowed on the forbidden fruit with the engaging scent. Queen had an angle of perception that produced a clear as mud image to fear the likeness of. I guess I should have practiced that one, huh? But that's just it. When I write, it's a creative thought at that time. And I don't have the patience to go back and correct it or redo it or present it anywhere. So this is now my audience for some of my thoughts. I guess it's just that thing about reading aloud, because if I read it myself, I'm actually pretty good, obviously, because I wrote it, right? The desired results for those that carry the weight for melanin, compounded with fear, leads Willie, who liked to sit at the beach in the middle of the town. Stories are yelled about trying to avoid splendor. Brewing an ale of still hops, steep bagless tea, and Kool-Aid void of sweeteners. The flavors were awful. Enticed by its effectiveness, there is no certain, there's no concern with taste. Willie might have been a seaman at some point for knowing that if crabs are placed in a lidless barrel, maybe a few would escape. The reminder will sure the remainder will sure ensure the mass will stay put. The remainder will assure the mass will stay put. More simple than clever with a message. Turn them on themselves. So I've proved I can't read. Or can I? I can. I just don't do it as fast as some people can. Which reminds me, Bill Gates. He reads. He reads a lot. Unfortunately, I'm not at his pace. He talked about in this documentary he did on, I don't know if it was Netflix or Prime or uh, Hulu, I don't know. Anyway, the message I'm trying to present is a message that's not a new message, right? Like I said, there's nothing new underneath the sun. Uh, there's people out here on all sorts of media saying the same thing that I am trying to say. I'm just trying to reconfigure the thought process of individuals that also think alike. And the goal is to change the dynamic of money. This is a solicitation as well to, again, we're vying for attention, right? For anyone listening to contact Ink Dot Productions, the Genuine Care Project could use anyone who wants to follow on Instagram or Facebook to catch up on the type of stuff that I've been posting so far. Instagram is Ink Dot Productions, and that's spelled Ink, INKDOT. Ink Dot stands for I never knew, period. It's interesting that we as a people sometimes don't realize we don't know what we don't know. And I realize there's a lot that I don't know. But there's one thing that I do know, that we as people can, if we choose to, control our actions. Although I haven't always been the best at controlling minds in some people's eyes. I'm considered an asshole to many. I don't know if I've said that before, but I'll say it again. Which reminds me, I have a book here about assholes. Haven't read it yet though. Let's see. Forgot where I was going with that. But that's just how I rub that person, right? That's the extent that that person have seen of me. The question is, have I rubbed anybody right, or have I made anybody simply agree with my thoughts? And I think that's what the Ink Dot Productions Genuine Care Project is attempting to do, is to shine light on the number of medias that are portraying the same exact message, right? And I don't care what your taste is. You could be a book reader, Facebook, Twitter. There's probably some other stuff that I don't know about, like Snapchat or I don't know. There's a ton. I know that one of my homeboys told me that there's a small video clips on how to do pretty much any and everything. What will wake the people up? Spike Lee has been talking about this for years. This is a call out to everybody who's influenced me. I'm about to name some folks here in a minute as soon as I can find a list, because if I just start naming people, and how we all can relate. I want to just again just drop nooks and crannies of reality of what's going on, and hopefully it leads people to a true solution. Relationships are weird. Our understanding of relationships is weird. Now that I think about it, so I beg to argue that relationships are just that. They're relationships. And anyone that you meet, you have engaged or started a relationship with. That relationship is like energy, it never can disappear. If you've had that relationship, it has affected you in some way, or you thought about it at that moment. If there was an actual relationship, whether it be work, friendship, relationship, school, what have you. Um, we over time have just given titles, and what we understand of the title gives us our expectation or standard for the relationship. Oh, big ups to Ta-Nehisi Coates. Uh, the water dancer inspired that uh, Dreamer's poem that I couldn't completely finish or read, but I'm hoping that you got the gist of it. So the idea about the book of Dreamers, um, let's see. So it's a story told by me within a dream of a dream about the younger me, which that's poems started. Um, but it is told in three separate parts, and all parts are intermingling, sort of like the Power Cube, dropping nuggets. Um, so the three parts are history, and history consists of anything that is known to us to have happened because we were personally involved in it, with it, seen it, or that we have read and believed to have been truth and fact, whether it been proven by or we actually believe the study or ideology of. I forgot where I was going with that. Oh, part one, like I said, was history. Anything that we can prove to say has happened, right? Not even prove, but we believe has happened because we don't know what we don't know, and anything else we think because of what we've read or been convinced of has happened. Try to dispute it. I don't know. Then there is my interpretation of history. Like, and what I mean by that is what I've grasped along the way as far as my understanding within the context and experience I was going through at the time, right? Basically, my life story. Then uh, the last is what a perfect world would look like, um, and why it would never happen, or could it? I have a huge imagination, and I believe anything is possible if you say it fast enough. Exactly what does that mean? It means that, again, I think I said nothing that we have when we wouldn't have if someone didn't think of it, right? So, inventor, we invent shit. Why can't we invent a way right now, today, that would get us in a better place? And I believe we are equipped with